What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Apex. Today I want to share some of the YouTube channels that really helped me develop the right mindset to be an entrepreneur that travels around the world creating content, as well as somebody who got into self-improvement and was able to get out of grief, depression, lack of motivation, and become somebody who knew I wanted to build a business, be somebody in the gym, and be somebody that's always working on my goals. One of my favorite channels that I found is called The Future with NoE at the end. The host or the main speaker is Chris Doe. So why I like The Future and what I was able to learn from The Future is anybody is a brand. It does take work to understand what your brand is. It will take time to understand how to build your brand, but The Future really taught me that it doesn't matter what you believe when it comes to can you be successful as a content creator. If you don't believe in yourself, that's literally the first step in creating a personal brand. Do you believe that you have a story to tell? Chris takes it a step further and proves that everyone does have a story to tell. But what I find beautiful about The Future is he's a guy who learned what his story was, learned what his journey was, and understood how people can get value from him sharing that. Another page that I've more recently stumbled upon, Myon Golden. I love watching Myon Golden for two specific reasons. He stands on biblical principles. He focuses on fundamental principles and rewrapping and repackaging these things for people to understand it. And he's always rooted in the Bible. The other reason I really like Myon Golden is because his communication style is almost unmatched because of how unique it is to him, but how powerful it is as well. He's able to tell a story that makes you really see the picture. He creates a lot of word paintings through his speech that allow what he's delivering to really resonate with the people listening. He's fully aware of his effect on his audience because he understands that at one point he was his audience. It just goes to show how much trust he's able to build in his content and with his audience. And that's something that I respect. Now, these next 3 pages, they're all in the same realm. Gary Vee, Ali Abdul, and Think Media. All 3 of them emphasize how important it is for people to get into storytelling. They really emphasize start now, start your journey today, start bad. It doesn't matter if it's bad because the more you do it, the better you'll get. The more time that passes, the more potential you have. I feel like these 3 pages really emphasize that. The best day to start making content and starting your personal brand is yesterday. The next best day is today. So get off your ass, get your ass up, go make some content, just turn the camera on. Because at the end of the day, like all of these pages always say, you don't have to post it. But every day that you don't make a video is a day lost in getting better at making videos. Those channels really help me with understanding personal branding, storytelling, and that I have a story to tell. And I still reference those pages a lot. Now getting into a part 2, more of a self-improvement type channel. One of my favorite self-improvement creators has been Hamza. The reason I like Hamza is because he does, one, when he talks about self-improvement, he mentions not becoming a dickhead pretty often. And Hamza is a good example of somebody, when you look at their longer content, they're really delivering a lot of value that helps young men. He kind of teaches a sense of radical accountability. And that's what a lot of young men need. They need a strong leader, in a sense, that can tell them about themselves so that way they can grow into a strong leader. So when you watch Hamza's videos, he's pretty much leading his audience into becoming better leaders by telling them they're being bad followers because they aren't willing to listen to somebody telling them about themselves and their bad habits. And I love how Hamza delivers packages to teach young men that this is not the ceiling that you're chasing. Your ceiling is so much higher than that, and you have to understand what work needs to be put in to achieve these great things and these things that you have in your mind, these dreams, these aspirations, these ambitions that you're deluding yourself into thinking you deserve, but aren't putting in the work to earn it. So check out Hamza. Another great self-improvement channel, Dan Coe. His whole thing is the one-person business model. He's very poised, collected, intelligent man. He started in copywriting, so a lot of what he says is strategic, it's tactical. Every word he says, every word he writes, there's purpose and intention behind it. His page is really going to teach you the different mental models to think about, different creative models you can go about, how to go from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 of building a personal brand. And he's just a really great page to reaffirm the beliefs that you can be a content creator, you can have influence, you have value, and you can monetize who you are if you do the work to understanding who you are and who you want to talk to. Like Will say, Dan Coe probably saved my life when it came to content creation, and I had to give him his his flowers. Now, 2 other self-improvement channels that I watched are a little bit more low-key, but still very valuable. The first one is Origi. His page is cool because he's very transparent about the journey that he's going through. In his transformative journey, you're seeing his growth through YouTube. Everything is calculated, everything is tactical. I don't want to say scripted, but everything is intentional. And that's the same thing that this next page does. And that page, his name is Brian. The way Brian story tells, and he just hits it on the nail for exactly how you're feeling, exactly what you're going through, and exactly why you're being an impatient pussy and you should just keep putting in the work. He probably saved me from quitting plenty of times because I got to hear his story. He's been in my position before. He's sharing the reality of what that position feels like, and he's sharing that the only way to beat it is to keep going. He has a very good way of making you feel like you were also a part of his journey, that he is a part of yours, and that you're moving forward together. Great page to check out if you're at the beginning of your journey. Origi, and Brian. And now part 3. These channels are mainly focused on valuetainment. What does that mean? That means I get value from it, but I can also watch it as if it's an entertainment channel. These channels have helped me when I didn't want to brain rot TikTok scroll and doom scroll, or I didn't want to Netflix the latest thing or watch some Amazon Prime bullshit. So these channels help me with content that always motivated me to work. So the first channel is literally called Valuetainment. He is one of the most charismatic public speakers I've ever seen in my life. I think he calls himself Valuetainment because he truly understands that no matter how much value he's delivering, he's always going to deliver it in a way that makes you want the information. It's entertaining, it's empowering, it's fun, it's energizing, it's motivating. Go check him out, and I think that you'll see the value in it for yourself. The next YouTube channel that's given me so much value but also entertainment has been School of Hard Knocks. Man, the way the host on the School of Hard Knocks communicates with his guests, the way he's able to get those people to get more invested in his interviews. It's also a great lesson on sales when you watch his videos, because he's really good at getting more out of the people that he's talking to. He's getting more information, more value out of them, more time out of them especially. He stops millionaires and billionaires and asks them questions about how they got there. You guys go check out his content, let me explain it, but there's a lot of value in just watching how he communicates to these millionaires and billionaires and how he gets these millionaires and billionaires to slowly open up and deliver more and more value. The next channel that gives so much value but also entertainment, Charisma on Command. I love Charisma on Command because being a live host, MC, and an influencer who socializes a lot, but also somebody who makes content and lives a pretty lonely life when it comes to what I'm doing on a day-to-day. Self-improvement, making content, seeing my family is most of my life. It helps you with reanalyzing how you go into social interactions. This is the best way I'll describe it. If you ever wanted to go to a college course on how to have a cooler personality, that's what Charisma on Command is. And the last channel I want to bring up was the Social Proof Podcast. I really like David Shands. He's the host of the Social Proof Podcast because you could tell he did his due diligence to be an educated podcast host. And his whole thing is making sure that on how to do it properly, how to do it right. He makes sure that sometimes people come on his channel and get advice from him. And sometimes people come on his channel and deliver value to his audience. And you can tell which one's which through the conversation. And I think that there's so much value in that because he's created a platform specifically around entrepreneurship for people that look like us and getting better at it. These channels are the things that I use to keep my mind focused, to reaffirm my beliefs and stay aligned in where I'm going. You can check out some of these channels that help me with personal branding and storytelling.